Okay, I want to apologize because you might hear the Disney movie Princess and the Frog in the background, but I'm too lazy to turn off the TV because it's very, complicated to turn this TV on and off. So I'm just leaving it on. I'm making this video because I had just finished ACOWAR Wings and Ruin last night, and it was awesome, even more awesome. Well, actually, no. I've said this before that I can't decide if I like ACOMAF or ACOWAR more. I mean, I definitely prefer both of them over ACOWAR. I mean, I enjoyed ACOWAR. Don't get me wrong. ACOWAR was great and everything, and it was but I prefer ACOMAF and ACOWAR more. And I'm total Resand trash, in case you didn't know. But I mean, I'm trash for this whole series, this whole trilogy. Well, it's a trilogy right now, but it's gonna have another trilogy coming out hopefully soon. Which, from what I heard, will be about all the other characters as well. Which will be like totally awesome because there are a few ships that were introduced at the end of ACOMAF and throughout ACOWAR that I want to see what's going on with them. But I am in love with this book. This is an epic conclusion to Rhysand and Freya's story, and I can't wait for more. And there's so many feels. I went from nervous to happy to angry to pissed off to happy again. I went through the whole spectrum of feelings essentially. But this was an awesome conclusion, and I love how the direction went for all the characters, especially Freya's sisters. I thought that was really cool, how they got incorporated into the story, into Freya's this new world that she's part of. And I love it. Well, anyway, that's enough of talking, a non-spoilerly section. The rest of this video is basically spoiling. And hopefully I won't take too long with this one like I did with ACOMAF. Although I was able to create another video. I ended up creating another video for ACOMAF, but the first time I filmed my going, expressing my love for ACOMAF, it was almost 2 hours. So this time I'm trying to not let that happen so I won't have to make it so I won't have to redo it. And I want to do it now because I want to do it before my parents come back, since they're gone for the day, and they'll be coming back sometime tomorrow. So I want to get this done now because I don't like making my videos with my parents. I mean, I mostly hide out and make these videos in my room. So, but I don't know. I just want to get this particular one done now, especially since okay. I'm not going to go into that because that is part of what makes these videos so long. But like I said, I am in love with this book. So basically this, and I still don't know which one I like better. But so far, I was so nervous when Freya was having to pretend that she still loved Tamlin and that Rhysand just put her under a spell and that she had to pretend. And, you could definitely tell that Lucian was starting to figure it out and did not trust her. And Ian Nancy, I hate her. I mean, she's another character, and there are quite a few characters I hate. There are some of them that are, that they're villains, so you're supposed to hate them. Like, the King of Hybern, Jurgen, which I was so glad that Jurgen turned out to be a decent guy after all. He just, by halfway through a little less than halfway, well, a little more than halfway, like closer to the climax, we found out that Jurgen, this whole time, that he's been playing the King of Hybern, which I was relieved. So at least we didn't have to deal with him anymore. He was on their side, and he wanted to ask for forgiveness from, Miriam. I don't know how you say her name. Prince Draken, Drakon. I don't know how to say their names because he felt horrible for what he did. I don't remember that whole backstory, the whole details of that backstory, but I'm sure other people that watch this will remember. And whether you've read will remember that whole backstory. So I'm glad he turned out to be a good guy in the end. And Tamlin, I hate him. I hate him and Ian Anthe. And it just made me cringe how Freya had to pretend that she still loved him. And I enjoyed it. And you know what? She had every right to want revenge. I mean, I know that's petty and wrong and everything, but you know what? Can you blame her for destroying his court and turning and taking away? And she was so smart. I mean, she was so clever. She planted the seeds of distrust and everything, and unfortunately, she deal with the prince and princess. I can't remember their names, but those two, another group of two other characters that I hate on my long list of characters I hate. Those, of course, unfortunately, they were also Diamanti. I think that's how you say it. That so they could read minds, but had been at it longer than Freya, so they had skills that she didn't have. So unfortunately, I had to deal with them, but she still kicked their asses and killed them, which I was great. I was so happy about. They were gone. Yes, thank you. But Ian Anthe, I was so glad. I was so happy that Freya not only crushed her hand, but she fed her to the Weaver, which was so awesome. That girl, that vain, selfish brat of a woman, I'm a priestess and I should be running things. It's like, you are such a bitch. And she was not just a bitch, she's a slut. A little slut that tried to hit on, that went after Lucian and Rhysand. So, okay, excuse me, I gotta respond to my mom. She sent me a text message. So probably want to respond. Well, I'm glad, but Tamlin was just pissing me off. And when I knew he was gonna show up, I knew he was gonna surprise and show up that big court meeting they were all having. The meeting the whole group was gonna all the court, the High Lords were having. I knew. I had a feeling that Tamlin would surprise them and show up and be the asshole and dick that he is. Now I admit though, I started to he's. Now, after what he did at the end, and when he protected Freya when she had to get her sister because, Elaine got captured and tricked into coming to be captured and taken to the King of Hybern's camp, and he helped. And when Freya and Azriel almost didn't make it out. Luckily, Tamlin earned some points for me again, or at least tolerance. I'm a little more tolerant of him and accepting of him. I still hate his guts, but at least he, was willing to forget. He helped her escape. Which proves that I think Rhysand was right, and that is in his own messed up way, he did still love Freya. He just didn't know how to express that love, and he's got his own issues to work through. I feel like, but he definitely, but. I still hate him, but I mean, at least he did some good. And at the end of it, he did something really good. That not super good, but he did something that earned a little bit of. But I still hate him. Just to let you know, okay? But I'm not excusing everything else he did. I hate him, but he did at least two things that made him a little more tolerable. And I was very happy that a lot of the characters, like Tamlin, they redeemed themselves by the end of the book. And I am so nervous. I am very nervous because even though Elaine is mated to Lucian, which I love that, I wanted that. Even though I know there is a possibility she could reject them all, which I feel bad because it could hurt Lucian, it could drive him crazy, and then he could turn into an asshole. That's the last thing I want. I don't want him to be an asshole here, and he has been through so much. He was beat up and abused by Baron of the Autumn Court and his half-brothers, because we find out that Helion is really his dad, because Helion had an affair with Lucian's biological mother, so she got pregnant, and Lucian was born, so Baron is not his dad, and I hate him too. He's not a guy that I would be happy if he were dead. I don't care about him, and I hope Eris, Eris is a bit of an asshole too. I would rather him run things than his dad. Because Daenerys at least was willing to work with the others and try to be a better person. And there's a little bit of, you kind of started sensed that maybe he wasn't that maybe you kind of felt pitied him a little bit. There's because maybe he wasn't such a bad guy, although that doesn't excuse what he did when they left Morgan Moore in the middle with the little note nailed to her head. But everybody has their reasons, not that excuses their behavior, but maybe we'll come to realize he's not that much of a bad guy when in the other books that she writes. But I feel so bad, but I feel so bad for him. But I also feel bad for Azriel, and I'm worried because he was so nice and sweet and understanding, and he saved Elaine, and she gave him a little kiss. So I'm worried that what Sarah J. Maas is going to do is introduce us a love triangle between the three of them, which is going to drive me crazy. I'm more tolerant of love triangles than most people. I know a lot of people can't stand love triangles, but I'm okay with them. But it does drive me crazy, especially when I like both guys. Because I'm the type of person who feels like I have to be one or the other. I have to choose one or the other. And it drives me crazy when I like both guys. But there is usually only one that I kind of like lean more towards than the other one. So, but in this case, I don't know, because Lucien has also been through a lot. He has all these scars. He's a soldier. He suffered so much, and he suffered such prejudice because of his Illyrian blood, and he was beat up too. So it's like both of them. But so both of them, you feel so bad for both of them, and they both deserve someone like Elaine. And which, by the way, I have such a mixed feeling about what Grayson did to her. One, part of me wanted that to happen, and before you guys get mad at me for saying that. Part of me wanted just so that we would get rid of his character, so we don't have to deal with his character and have like a little love triangle or love square, or whatever, where she still loves him and he still loves her, and he wants to marry her despite her Fae heritage. So I was actually kind of glad, but then but I also want to smack him and punch him in the face. The way he hurt her, because she is so sweet and so kind and so caring and compassionate, and he was such a jerk, all because she's a Fae. Of course, it was partly because she lied to him about it and everything, but I still don't think he would have accepted her, even if she told him the truth and revealed what she was now. But that was so messed up, because what is the problem with Fae anyway? They're not monsters. They are capable of being monsters, but so are humans. So are we. Our kind are the same way. But the problem, that's the prejudice between Fae and humans, is that, Fae are immortal and have magic and can live forever, and only ash arrows can kill them. In the case of this world, in a lot of Fae stories, it's iron that kills them. And in this story, what's funny is they bring that up, and the humans think that's still true, but it's not. And Freya learns in Court of Thorns and Roses from Tamlin that iron does not work. That's a myth. The iron does not work. So, but I just felt so bad for Elaine. But at least now we got rid of Grayson. And now if I'm right, and they're really love triangle, at least we only have to do with two Fae, which my friend Terry would be fine with that. Because she doesn't like it when, in these stories where it's the girl choosing the human and the fairy. And in my experience, though, most of the books I read, like the adult and YA books, she never chooses the human. But I guess in the books that she reads, the girl always chooses the human guy. So I don't know what she reads. But, sorry, I keep getting distracted by the TV, because it's Fairy Tale Weekend it's Fairy Tale Weekend on Freeform, so they're showing all the Disney fairy tale, movies and stuff. Like, they showed The Prince and Me earlier, which I really like, which is a good movie. Although I didn't like that Julia Stiles wasn't in the second one, because they made a sequel. At least the guy was still in it. The actor who played the prince. Prince Edward. It's a very common name for European princes and stuff. Anyway, okay, I hope this video isn't super long, but I don't know why, I brought the book down and I haven't even picked it up, really, but I love Nesta and Cassian's relationship. They are I love the hostility between them. It's so cute. It reminds me a lot of Rhys and Freya in the beginning, where they were so flirty, but they were hostile at the same time. Or she was more hostile than he was. He just teased her and was amused by her. But then again, Cassian is the same way, and Nesta is kind of the more hostile one. And I love how badass Nesta is. Even though she can't fight with weapons, or she's still so badass. And I love that she was the one that killed the king. That is awesome. I love it. And she has every right to be the one that kills the king. And Elaine, of course, was able to help too, because she had a right to be involved in killing the king too. Because those two suffered the most from the king, because they're the ones that got transformed, and they didn't want to be fairies. Even though, yes, they are mortal and powerful now, they didn't want this. So at least, and unfortunately, I kind of feel, as much as I want Lucien to have a chance, and I kind of want them together, but at the same time, you kind of feel bad for Elaine, because she was in love. She loved Grayson. She really loved him. She was happy to get married to him, despite the fact that his house looked like a prison cell. And according to Nesta, his dad was an asshole. Of course, it turns out it was the reverse, and Grayson actually was the asshole, and his dad was actually the guy that was willing to work with them and compromise. But Nesta, I hope we get books on both Elaine and Nesta, because Elaine is the seer, which is totally, that would definitely be an interesting power, and interesting to see how she deals with that, because she knows the future, and that can be cool and scary at the same time. And then Nesta's she's like death. She is a badass death. I mean, the soldiers called her a witch. And so I know that the other books are definitely going to be about those. I believe each of the books are going to be about them, which is good. So we get to learn more about them. And I love how Nesta grows, her growth in the story. How she starts out as a snobby bitch. And we definitely, at the end of ACOWAR, we kind of got a hint of there was more to her than the way she portrayed herself to her sisters. And then she grows, and instead of, and she actually wants to help. Because at first she wasn't willing to, present herself and her powers in the show, because it was a shame for her, and she didn't want to show the courts. And she hated fairies and all that, but she was slowly starting to be more compassionate and understanding. I think she was impressed by Freya. How much she's learned, how powerful Freya's become, how strong. And they learn stuff about each other, they both learn that about each other's fears, and about, she realized that Freya never learned how to read. And I just love her growth, and how she becomes much of a stronger person, but also a kinder, more compassionate person. And I love seeing her relationship with Cassian, and showing how she's it's slow burning romance. There's times, she seems cold, but as ACOWAR went on, she started to actually slowly care about him. And there were these moments between them where their eyes met, and you don't know if they're mates, but you definitely see something flickering between the two of them, like a connection, a bond. They study each other, watch each other, care about each other, and it's so cute. Now, which brings me to the next character, Morgan. Morgan is, so we find out that Morgan, either she's gay or bisexual. Well, I think she said she also likes guys, but she leaned more towards women. So I guess maybe that means she's bi, but she leans more towards girls. And that's why she's not all, she doesn't love Azrael the same way. So I thought that was interesting. I thought that was really cool that they kind of, and I want to know more about her, and if she ever is going to find love. Because I want a love story for her. I want her to find love and everything, because she is such a good, kind-hearted, sweet person. and she deserves happiness. And let's see, what else about this story that I loved? I also like how Tara Quinn, he decided to forgive Rhysand and Freya, and he knew that he got rid of the rubies, the red rubies, that he declaring that they were now enemies, and he started to show he was actually, he knew that this war and winning this war and defeating the King of Hybern was more important than his own petty arguments with the others. So I'm glad that because I liked him. I liked him in book, and and I understood why he was angry. They stole from him, so of course he's gonna be pissed. And feel betrayed. And this is all. What was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? But oh my god, I remember watching the ending. Oh my god, I didn't cry. Don't hate me for not crying, but I didn't cry. But I definitely was like, oh my god, please don't, no, please, they don't do this to me. And of course, if you read the book, you know what it is. I'm not gonna say what happens. I mean, even though this video is full of spoilers, it's still. Sorry, I keep getting distracted by The Princess and the Frog, which I do like them. It's not my favorite, but I do really enjoy that one. But, oh my god, I was so nervous at the end. I was so emotional at the end. Like I said, I didn't cry, but I definitely was like, oh my god, Sarah, don't do this. Don't do this to us, please. Especially for us, So, but it didn't end happy, and I like how things ended with Tamlin and Freya. How they wished each other happiness. I thought that was really nice and sweet. Of course, I feel bad for Lucian and Tamlin's relation because they really were good friends. They cared about each other, but that friendship fell apart because he chose, in Tamlin's eyes, Rhysand's family over him. Which, there is a long-running feud between the two of them. I don't know if that will ever be fixed. I don't know if she'll ever include that in any of her other books. But I really hope, I feel bad for Lucian. I hope he earns. I mean, if there's going to be a book about him, hopefully he will at least earn Tamlin's friendship back, even if the feud between Tamlin and Rhysand will never be fixed. So, okay, I'm done gushing over how much I love this book, how awesome this book is. I'm done because I don't want this movie too long, and I'm not good with figuring out time, so hopefully it won't be too long. Either that or I'm going to have to do this video again, or maybe cut out some stuff. I don't know. So, I love this, and I hope you all loved it as much as I did, and if you haven't, alright. And, just tell me and if you have read it, tell me in the comments what you thought about things too. If you agree with me on things or if you didn't agree. And I'm gonna go. Right. Bye.